All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're already a subscriber, if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to the channel. My channel is about my journey in which I retired at the age of 50 out of corporate America. And this happened in 2024. This channel is basically my journey on how I was able to do it and what's going on 3 years later. So let's take a step back. I worked in corporate America for 28 years, doing what I was supposed to do, moving up the corporate ladder. I got to the executive level, and then January 14th, 2024, I called it quits. I didn't quit my job. I actually retired from the company that I was working for. I wasn't old enough from a retirement standpoint of being able to get Social Security, but my company had something that they call the rule of 60. So if your age and your service with that company added up to 60, you could retire. Now, it's not like retirement how it was back in the day where your grandparents or whatever could retire. They get, a plaque. They have different types of pensions and things like that. Me retiring through the rule of 60, basically they gave me a gift. I left out on good terms. I did actually have a pension because the company, when I started working with them, they had one. But either way, that's the way that I was able to retire. So I left out on good terms. Now, one of the things that you may not know about retiring early, because not many of us do it. I mean, some people just quit. But I had a parachute. I planned this for whatever reason. I have been saying I wanted to retire when I turned 50 for years. I've always had different side hustles that were going on. I sell books on Amazon. I have over 70 books that I've published on Amazon that bring me in money. I have a product that I created back in 2004 that still sells on Amazon today. So my whole time that I was in corporate America, I was doing things to set me up for when it got to this particular point. So I didn't just jump and wasn't ready for it, but I was ready to stop working for somebody else. I didn't hate my company. I didn't hate the people that I was working with, but I was tired of that corporate environment. And I know some of you may feel, the same way, but that was my reasoning. But I did have a plan so that when I did take that leap, I was able to do it and I was secure in actually doing it. So some of the things people don't tell you though is you can definitely get lonely if you're in a situation like that. Now, I'm married, I have kids. What I mean by lonely is I may be retired, but my friends and family, ones that I may want to do different things with, they're not retired. So they have to plan, different things. They have to plan their vacation days. I'm lucky I don't have, to plan the vacation days. Not as much as when I was in corporate America. Now I plan around my son's school because I do have a surprise from God that's 12 years old. And I say surprise from God because my 40th birthday, I found out that I was pregnant, and it was the craziest situation. I mean, I was literally 16 weeks and 6 days pregnant. I wasn't showing. I didn't have symptoms. It was crazy. So I call that my surprise from God. I will talk about him a little bit more in some of my other videos, but my surprise from God is 12. So I plan around his schooling, so it's summertime now, we're going to amusement parks, we're doing different things like that. But that's one thing. It can be lonely if you're not planning it correctly. The other thing is you could be surprised by bills if you did not have everything laid out appropriately, meaning I knew every bill that I had. I knew every bill that I could cut out if I didn't need it. I had enough emergency funds, so when I did leave, I didn't have to worry about that. I have a great 401k. It's a lot of different things in there, but that's another thing. You can be surprised by bills if you didn't plan it right. And then there are things like emergencies that can happen. You can't plan for an emergency. You can have an emergency fund, but most people don't even have $1,500 to $2,000 in an emergency fund. And if you have a medical situation that your health care doesn't take care of, if you have something that goes wrong with your car or an appliance in your house, it's all types of things. So even though I may have retired, there's still responsibility. And I knew this, but those are things that, you have to think about with it. Am I happy I did it? Yes, because I feel great and blessed every morning to be able to get up and call my own shots. I'm busy all day with different things. I have so much more free time to work on ideas. I am a serial entrepreneur. I am always coming up with different things. And when I was at my regular job, I had my 9 to 5, but then all the stuff I wanted to work on, it was like 5 to 9. So I have now gotten into the point to where I flip my 5 to 9 that I love doing into my 9 to 5. So I love it every day. I will make a video on that to kind of talk about what I did and how I was able to plan all of this, if any of you are interested in it. But that is definitely going to be what we talk about on this channel. Each video is going to be something that I found out. I got 3 years worth of knowledge that I can share with you. If there are certain things that you want to know, please just drop a line. I will be happy to explain anything I can. I'm not an expert on any of this. I can just tell you how it worked for me, how it was a pro or a con, how I went about handling it. But it's always going to be your situation. But this is what I did. It may work for you. So tune in to my videos. I'm going to put out a video every week. This is my first one that I'm putting out. I hope it's going to help any of you that may be thinking about retiring early. I'm 53 now. I did it at 50. That was my goal, and I'm loving it. So subscribe to the channel, come back each week, and we can ride this journey together.